Hey, everybody.
Hello. Hello. So we are on the second meetup of Rust reading group, um, and today we thought we are gonna do some learning exercise, and we're gonna try to learn together um, how to create a. Well, we're gonna create a MySQL database using Diesel library with a table called users with basically these fields: first name, last name, username, and date of birth. And then we want to create a small CLI um, application written in Rust to which will allow us to add users to the database. So that's what we're going to try to do today. So I have a MySQL already running on Docker, um, which is pretty simple to run. You can run this command. Basically, runs an image in detached mode in the background. It maps your local port to the container port. You give it a name. I've given it the name of user registration database. You set the root password with an environment variable, and this is the Docker image that we're running. So once you've done that, then you can just connect to MySQL using your MySQL client. Just connect to the container like that. I've also created a Rust repo called user registration, which is blank at the moment. So we're gonna start from here. So let's let's see how we can use Diesel to have it open here to create a database. It's gonna go together. Let's go to get started. Diesel. Right. They're creating a project. In this case, we already created one. Yeah. So dependencies. So we need to add Diesel to our dependencies. Let's do that now. Our projects. I got TOML file. There we go. Those are our dependencies. So we go now. The cargo install. Come on, cargo install now as well. Um, pull those dependencies down. If they're running anyway. So if you run into an issue where the library MySQL client is not installed, let's see if we run into that issue. I have MySQL client installed, so we should not run into that issue. We need to tell Diesel where to find that database. We do this by setting the database URL environment variable. On our development machines, we likely have multiple projects going, so we can use .env file instead. So let's do that. Um, let's create a .env file at the root of our project. Any file called .env, and inside there um, we'll define our database URL variable. The host is disconnected to your Docker container. Um, this is just for testing, so the user is root and the password is root. Um, Actually, no, that's MySQL. I think that's the schema. MySQL, MySQL database at root. Um, and that's the host, and the database name is going to be called user registration. And we don't need this bit. Yeah. Let's go back to here. Now Diesel can set everything up for us. Well, that's really nice. So let's try to do that. I do have a command. Okay, so it didn't find the Diesel command, so I'm guessing that's something I have to install. Yeah. Okay, so Right. So it talks about diesel CLI. I'm guessing this is what I need. Um, so I might just install that. Let me see. Let me see. Packages. Diesel CLI install. Let's see. Right, so it seems like we only want to use MySQL, so let's try to run this. Yeah, I think that's what I need. So we run that here. We only need MySQL. How do we install diesel CLI? No default features because we don't want the default features. We only want MySQL. Let's see. So I'm gonna go and fetch that, and then in the meantime, we can go to the next step, which was diesel setup.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
You guys running as well?
I'm getting brought you to previous error failed to compile diesel CLI original into my folder.
Oh, you got the MySQL error?
Yeah. Well, no, it's a diesel CLI error.
It should say 13 minutes. So get your copy. You got it in there already, got you.
You can already have this part. Well, we can in the video. Yeah, we can edit it later.
Yeah, I'm gonna
This takes a lot.
see it. So,
So diesel setup, this will create our database if it didn't already exist, and create an empty migrations directory that we can use to manage our schema. More on that later. Okay, cool. We don't have a database, so that would be really helpful. It will create a database for us.
Yeah.
I'm guessing it will be the name that we give it in the database URL, environment variable. Now we're gonna write small CLI that lets us manage a blog. The first thing we're gonna need to do is a table to store our posts. All right, so we'll just follow this tutorial, changing what we need for our purposes. CLI still going. So we're gonna need to run generate users table for our purposes. Diesel will create 2 empty files for us in the required structure. We'll see output that looks something like this. Right. And we can use migrations to.
We just did the CLI thing.
Right, so migrations to change the database.
yeah, because he's got clients installed.
Right, so let's see.
I can already install it.
I think that just that blew up because I don't have.
MySQL.
Cannot find MySQL client. Okay.
Yeah, you got the same error that we did.
Let's see then. You're missing the client library. MySQL client in this case, you can resolve this issue by installing the library
Using the user
or by specifying the backends. Oh, I did install this. Oh, oops.
Yeah, I installed it as well.
I did install it, so I don't know why it doesn't.
Yeah, I think you would. Otherwise, you wouldn't have been able to do.
I installed exact. Oh, it was a different library because it had a DAS.
Yes,
MySQL DAS library.
Yes, you gave me the wrong library.
So it's slightly different.
Yeah, you did.
I actually I can't find this package, so let's see. We're going to install.
You gave me that.
I'll just install MySQL for you. But for Google. So now if I do MySQL client.
It's not there.
What's the link?
It's not there.
Just go back up.
It is MySQL client.
Yeah, that's not outside.
So we could just use that instead.
But
Can I
fine,
ever
yeah,
drink it ever again?
if I note on that, we don't need to install it entire on MySQL.
What are you thinking of it?
Right, so now we can continue. So we're gonna do diesel setup before all this. So let's run that now.
Yeah, diesel.
Creating migrations directory. Okay, so it's creating a migrations directory, and he has created the database for us. Let's check if the database is there. So databases, and there it is. User registration database has been created for us, and we have a migrations directory. Great. Let's see what's the next step.
Creating migration from this.
Yeah, so we're gonna create our users table. So we have to run these commands to create a migration, to generate or create users table. Let's do that.
My thing is not running on localhost though, so it's running on 0000. So why is it trying to go to localhost?
Right, so it allows us to add two SQL files. One for when we apply the migration, and one for when we revert the migration. So the revert one is very easy.
I can't put 0.0.0.
First thing to do is create this. Let's go.
Users, and the other one is going to
I can't change it from localhost. That's why it's not mine. It's wrong.
Yeah, because I guess mine.
all right. Users. So yeah, they have an ID. First name. First name.
Right.
Last name.
So now we play this. Nice go.
Here. Username and date of birth. So first name is a varchar not null. I'm guessing I can put here the length, for instance, 50. I'm not actually sure if I can do that, but we'll find out.
It's like my SQL.
Date of birth will be date time, just the date actually. Let me just go with that quickly. Let's go to types.
There's quite a few people.
Date types, the date. Yeah, so that would be just a date. One.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, let's leave that as a date. And that's gonna be not null either. Try to run the migration and see what happens. There. Right, so that seems to have run fine. Let's just see the tables that we have here. Yeah, so that worked. That all worked fine. Varchar 50 characters and a date. Okay, so we have our. That's pretty good. We already have our database and our table, so that was pretty easy with Diesel. Now let's create a CLI application to add the users to the database. So now I summarized. Right, so I'll go a little bit further here. Yeah, we still need to write the glue code here.
Doesn't create the
It's created it. It says creating database user, but it hasn't actually said it was successfully created it.
Is it create? I'm gonna try something.
Right, so this is fine. Source
My
schema.
is your
So it has created a schema here.
your env file.
Yeah.
Root at 000. Oh my god.
Regular.
But that's what we had.
It's pretty quick. Yeah, mine is like that.
Yeah.
Cool.
But it's not created.
User registration. I think.
You know, even diesel setup is meant to create a table.
Yeah. Oh, you have to copy the. Sorry, I go too fast. You have to create a migrations directory.
Also, does it create it? straight
Oh,
away?
yeah. So it creates the migration directory, and then you need to. Well, you have to run this command directly.
Yeah. So after that, say diesel.
No, you actually, yeah. DCL migration,
Create. Create.
generate,
Generate. That's it.
and then create underscore users.
Also, if you don't, it doesn't necessarily. Oh, I know. Yeah, it doesn't create a database. It creates the
Migration for it.
migration.
The
for-
files.
Yeah, the files, the stuff necessary for it, and then when you come to actually do your migrations and you run it, it will create the database.
You created the database the first time you ran diesel setup, I think it is.
I can't see the database.
That created your database. Did you run diesel setup? Oh, you're unable to find the cargo file.
Yeah, but then I run it. Yeah.
Or did you add diesel to your dependencies?
Yeah.
Right, and you run cargo install.
Oh,
Yeah.
I need to.
Oh yeah, you didn't. So
Yeah, okay.
Because I got these set up as my.
yeah, that's over there.
Yeah.
So you do actually need to
Oh,
have that.
did I? Yeah, I think I have
I
it.
got my
on.
migration folder.
So I assume that you.
Yeah,
do
features.
set-
I need features MySQL. I need box tracks.
Yes, so you don't need that yet.
Huh? I don't need that because it comes out of the box.
Oh no, you do need it, but
It's weird
when
because
you
it
come
works.
to use Diesel CLI, you don't need that because it's a separate application.
Yeah.
However, our tables aren't created.
Really?
So I'm wondering if I have to actually create something first.
Yeah, those,
Oh, your environment variable? You have your environment variable, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. That's what it uses, your environment variable.
Yeah. So it's,
Oh, but you do need.
it doesn't actually create the database. So I'm assuming it will create it when you.
No, that's created before. I tried it. So you need to.
Interesting.
I would install those things.
my things are already there, and it's not
That's super
showing.
interesting. That's I'm not bored.
But yeah, it was independent. Yeah, it's definitely different as dependencies. It's set up. It just runs. It doesn't say it's set up a database or anything.
Compile cargo in with that library. So we'll have a look at here. Well, actually, let's just have a look at the code. It's created a
Okay,
schema
great. Neat.
without table.
It's the refresh.
So we've got that. Then we have our models.
You clearly choose an OP.
We want to create our models
You're wrong.
when we look at our models. So let's do that now. Models.
You're wrong. Needs them.
User.
It's a wrong SQL then.
Stupid SQL.
I wonder what the date of birth field will be actually in Rust. Will it be a string? I actually don't know.
It depends on how you want to do it.
You have to do this create generate.
Since you I don't know how you're entering it.
Yeah, it's a date in the database. Is a date. So,
So how do you turn it into a date?
let's just see if they have any code here.
He's stealing code.
Man, coding on the big screen is the future.
So do we just,
Yeah, man, it's so good. Let's see.
we then have to do the migration and generate post bit.
Yeah, this is timestamp.
Yeah, for create that. But if you're doing date of birth, it's something you enter. Not something that's generated.
Yep.
Yeah, but when it loads it from the database,
Yeah, that's
it will be a date.
yeah, it will be a
Oh,
date.
you're not a code rapper, are you? Code rapper now. Oh.
Yeah, I think this timestamp
Soft
comes directly from.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
man, I can't cope with it.
So obviously, I'm saying in the sense of like, you know,
Yeah, it's just
unless you say
yeah,
when they create a user for
Personal
these
preference.
CLI, that's the date of birth.
I've never been able to get on.
Yeah.
Also, when
Oh no! They will enter
It's
it,
partially
but
why I
then
don't
we will
like
pass it
laptops.
into
Too small.
yeah, so we'll need to do something. Awesome.
Like
yeah, we
matrix,
will pass it into
Yeah.
to a date.
Horizontal space.
We'll save it in the correct
This is
format.
a bit difficult to apply code generation with
So yeah,
that
you
bit.
can
Oh yeah.
you can leave it.
As it is.
So diesel, yeah. Oh, diesel chrono.
You can use that one, but you can also use the default. The one that comes in the standard.
I just want to see if here I can use some. How do I search for it?
Create.
Yeah, how do you actually search the APIs? This, you know. Jonathan, you know how to
It
search
says
the APIs of the package.
documentation, but that's the only thing in documentation.
Docs.
Where's the docs?
I'll see if they have one.
Docs, right? Docs are nice.
These.
Right?
I don't use docs.
Oh, they have a cluster now where they don't put stuff in.
I'm pretty sure you can. Documentation, sorry, yeah, there we go. Oh,
Here we go.
yes, that's it.
Can you link to it from Create?
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
To be honest, that's where I normally look. I don't look on docs.
All right,
Where I can send it in.
right.
Do
So,
that.
is there any time,
They have
Daytime.
daytime? I just want the date.
what you do is I can show you. Okay.
Type date, right? This must be it, right? Let's see why are they using here?
Oh no, you don't use that.
They're using the prelude. I think they say is here, right?
They use that's what they're using. Oh, they're using Chrono in this one. So you can use Chrono, but when you use Chrono, you have to add it as a feature flag on Diesel.
Right. But you see how you're using this timestamp here?
Yeah.
This type is not coming from Chrono, right? Because they only imported this. So where is this type coming from? Timestamp. It's not explicitly declared, so I'm guessing it's coming from here.
But I'll
Which
drop
it is, right? Like this timestamp, it comes from the library.
Yeah, this it comes from.
It comes from there, yeah. So
Yeah, it comes from Chrono. Because what they're doing is they're importing Chrono, and they're using Chrono.native, naive, datetime, and then from there they're using timestamp. So it makes more sense. Because what I do is I didn't do it like that. I like literally put the full path. So it's clear what you're actually using.
oh, this is right. This the SQL type.
Oh no, that's the type that they use on the low ground. But look,
Oh, with feature Chrono, yeah, you're right.
yeah. So what they do is, if you were to add your own date library, you would implement this, and then you'd add a feature to it to say, I don't know, most time, which would allow you to add it as a feature flag in the cargo tunnel, because you may not necessarily use Chrono in your program, but they provide types for you to use it. But unless you actually import it in your library or in your application,
Okay.
it won't be used.
So in this case, I have to
There is a server.
set the feature.
There is a server.
Yeah, if you want to use Chrono, but you can use. I don't know what the.
Can I not use this type explicitly? You said I can use this type.
I don't know if you can actually.
So I'll try to use this type. Seems to be
Is it one of those things where you can put like traces?
It's probably
the
can.
data SQL type.
Usually like.
Yeah, I haven't thought about that. That's a good point.
Let's try to do that. Let's try to in my module. And you choose that, right?
Easy.
And I can use that's the type of this.
You won't know until you actually run a query.
Yeah. So let's see how it goes.
Oh, okay, so they're doing this first.
Right, so then let's add our functions to save our post.
Yeah.
So let's just hard code something to, well, actually,
So you need a new post struct.
yeah, let's, yeah, I've created that
How
here.
that differs?
Oh, so you
A
can do
user
that.
struct.
Actually, you're gonna use the same one.
Yeah, the user, yeah. This is,
Because yours is
oh, you
actually
mean,
typed.
let's see the MySQL, how they do it.
Well, it depends. Like, for example, if like the ID is generated by the database, you wouldn't have it in there.
Yeah, that's
No, well, they're not generating off the web IDL file. right?
Like that. So you
Yeah.
need somewhere where your database is connected.
Yeah, you just instantly support whatever the.
yeah, okay, cool. So let's connect to the database first, which is something that we're talking about here, I think.
to the established connection.
Yeah, you need to connect to the database. Oh, so they have different binaries, right?
Do you not need to? Yeah. Oh, so they do.
So that's what they did before, showing you how to do like a plug entry.
Yeah. So this is like a.
Example of how to add like content. You can
I
see
mean, yeah, so we need this code at least
I don't know how
to connect to the
Yeah.
database.
That's what I was looking for. I was gonna say once it's simple.
Yeah, so we import the crate, diesel, and the .environment crate to read our
Yeah.
credentials.
Which is
Right.
using the n dash for colon rather.
Yeah, so then we import diesel prelude, diesel
You don't need
Postgres. We don't need Postgres, we
You
need
need whatever the
MySQL.
MySQL one is called. Or this is SQL.
So that should be. Yeah, there we go.
Not worth just running it and changing that to MySQL connection established. It says PG connection established. Just left it.
on
Yeah.
together.
And doing a quick cargo run.
Right.
You know straight away if it works.
Yeah. And I'll actually put it in afterwards. In the next run. Okay, yeah, here.
So off the back of doing that, Jonathan, I want to know what's the best path to do with it.
Yeah, see, it's
You
not
can
it
tell
again.
when cargo is running.
Is that hot?
Yeah, see, it's not it again. Even though it's
It has to compile again.
yeah.
Oh yeah, because I added this.
New one.
I added this feature MySQL.
Yeah.
It used to be Postgres.
You don't need something
But they're like feature flags. So, for example, because you can technically have MySQL and Postgres together. So if you wanted, I don't know why, there might be a use case for that.
But,
Use a different database.
I'm at 60%, dude. It's getting there.
It's the fact that
No.
if you included both, but you only use one,
errors.
that fixes errors for you. Okay, let's see. Cannot find.
Oh, error. What happened?
You need to refresh your terminal.
Yeah.
Because your terminal doesn't know about MySQL client.
Right.
It's awful.
No, it's just the way terminals
I'm
are.
not using the proper terminal.
I mean, technically, this is why I need this proper look at my Docker.
Yeah.
Because in Diesel, if you want to do MySQL,
Oh, that worked, right? That just worked right now. Yeah, you just compile.
Yeah.
Extremely quickly and it works. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So,
So I need to change mine.
everyone up to speed?
Ah,
So
that's
wait
not
for a bit.
exactly what you did.
yeah, I'm up to speed.
I'm just gonna paste that in. I'm gonna change it to MySQL.
Okay.
So I need to change that.
Can I continue or do you want to do it for a bit? Oh, for a bit.
Drop the schema.
Yes, please. Because I don't have the schema.
The
Source schema?
not,
That's
the,
what I've been generating for you.
not the one that's been generated, the migration role.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's down.
Oh, is that the one you run anyways?
Oh, hang on a minute. That's not right.
That's not right. It should be dropped.
It should be dropped indeed.
That's funny. These are
Right, there you go.
It
That's
tries to
just-
migrate and then generates a user.
There you go.
So I need to run that.
Oh, you're gonna make me type it out.
Yeah, you need
Oh man,
Why don't
yeah.
you just copy it from the thing? It's like right there. It's just following.
You just like, oh yeah, just copy from thing.
Hey, it's literally tell you what to do. Creating that.
You can copy it from the
Like creating that with the dates and stuff. It's right.
This bottom looks like you can copy using that.
So why did mine generate?
No, you have to copy that. It doesn't generate it for you.
What the
Yeah.
SQL?
Yeah, you have to copy paste and then change the users.
No, but it should generate this function.
It did, yeah. Did it not?
Oh, maybe I didn't.
Yeah, it did. Generate it.
Oh, it did. I just looked at the option.
Yeah, definitely did. So mine's there
Yeah.
and it's there. So do I have to change that?
Okay. So what's
So I got up and I got down. So I just need to copy up and down.
right?
So apparently you can run apply, you can run migrate and revert or something like that,
Yeah, to test that date.
and it will just execute one file or the other.
You also got redo, which will revert it, then reapply it.
Nice.
So obviously, if you create a job or down you delete some data and it should work, then you run straight away,
So you need to run.
which is nice.
You have to run a new
It's very
migration.
nice, right? This library.
Yeah,
Like it's very easy to, so far at least.
Oh shit.
yeah.
Let's see how it is
So
to like
you are
fetch
error
that
in
and
your
stuff.
SQL system.
My only weakness at the moment is like
What's the equivalent of
using the difference between like MySQL and Post.
Did you do the sorry guys, did you do the visa migration run after you did the up and down MySQL?
Oh, you need to, yeah, this is what I was saying. Like, you need to have types,
Okay.
which is why I want you to copy and paste it.
The schema.
Yeah.
That's 4 times.
It's 4 times. Yeah.
Where is
I'll
the
make a mistake.
type?
I'll make a
Is
mistake.
that is not in your up that you did that?
Yeah, that's the app.
Look, I missed a comma. Made a mistake.
Okay.
I like your thing, man.
Yeah, it's work in progress.
The first name.
Because I'm not actually fully at what I like.
You actually choose the color yourself.
I started from like a theme and then I changed the colors to red. Change these to
Right,
green.
that's just
You know,
that kind of default. Like, what's the default value
Last name.
it makes it so easier to look at when, you know, like for example, PHP at the moment. It's like this. It's quite cool.
Yeah.
To look at.
Oh,
I don't want to
definitely.
customize it because then
That
it's,
looks way better.
Then username.
obviously there's certain things I need to fix.
And then date of birth is just not no, it's just date. That's it.
They not do it.
Yeah, do you not need this published one now? You don't need it, do you?
No, that's for blog posts.
Date.
No, not publish. I use it.
Oh, is it underscore? I knew that.
Yeah, it's one.
How do you make that work?
Why is that pink, man? Why is that pink?
That's an interesting one. Why is that pink?
Okay.
Because username is
So I
like
have it now. And if I do create migration,
Oh yeah, it's an arrow.
cool. I got it done. It's doing it.
No.
It's running, and it's created a post. So how can I check to see that it has done it? Is it that I have to go in the database?
Yeah, just go into the database.
Do I have to
See if it has created the table.
Do I have to refresh this database every single time? Yes, I got post.
And you can see
There's
the
no-
structure, maybe, of the table to see if the
Yes, it is there.
columns are there.
Yeah, perfect.
And the bar chart and
Yeah.
the last date. Yeah, okay, cool. So, so the next thing you have to do
What's it? No, wait.
is go to the,
I've got a nice scroll.
you have to create the model, which you guys haven't done. Just create a model, source, model,
Yeah.
models.
So you have to create that by default, yeah? In
Yeah.
source, yeah?
No, in source, models.
Okay. Source models.
And apparently you have to derive this type, this interface
So models.
trait,
.rs.
prog macro, yeah,
Cool.
like a pro.
So you have to write that out, yes. Okay,
Yeah,
good.
so that's gonna be your model.
So use these all SQL types. And that's for date. Cool. Let me go on.
Someone see what's wrong with this. I'm looking at it and I can't see anything.
You sure anything wrong with it? Sure, just need to.
It's probably something stupid. Anyway,
Where is it? So create table, create users. Let's say.
Oh, you can it doesn't run for you.
it's telling me to check the MySQL manual.
You have an error. Hold on. Create table. Create table. Oh, I have create table post. You have create table users. Does it make a difference?
Oh yeah, it needs to be users, dude.
Mine says post.
Yeah, because you didn't update it.
Process this first.
But we're creating users, not posts.
Yeah, no, I need to update it too. Can I run
Oh.
can I rerun it or do I have to delete the original?
That's a good point. Yeah, update the file.
Yeah.
And then we're running cargo, diesel. Let's just see diesel how. Let's just get familiar with this.
These are migration run.
This is migration help.
This migration run is the one
Uh,
that we did.
redo,
Okay,
yeah,
so these are migration redo.
yeah. That should.
What I really want.
Oh, hold on. But first,
Yeah.
go to the down.sql file,
Okay.
and you need to have a drop table.
Well, drop into users.
Post. No, you have to put users because you have
Yeah,
to
so
delete it.
the drop post and then
Post. Yeah,
so that's
that's
should
fine.
run.
Yeah, run it.
So that's running what drop post. Like these-
No cargo migration redo.
I mean these are migration redo.
Yeah, sorry.
See, and then this is the case where having two databases is useful.
So it's rolling back, and then it should get rid of that one.
It will run down and then it will run up,
Yeah, so I got users now.
and then you can update down to say users.
Users. Oh, perfect.
Cool.
So I just need to do the last bit that you were doing, which is on the model.
You managed to figure it out.
Can you do the model bit again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else? Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
So this derive is
Create
what
recheck.
is that doing? Is that just can somebody
There's a
explain?
procedural macro which generates code for you.
Okay.
But what it's actually doing under the hood is that it's implementing a trait for you.
Okay.
So the trait, the procedural macro looks at the struct fields there, so you've got ID, first name, last name,
Yeah.
date of birth.
Yeah.
And it will implement, I assume they're queryable to trait, but I'm not actually sure.
Yeah. So this is the trait that will implement for you.
Ah, cool.
So it generates all that code.
He only has a build method. Constructs an instance. Anyway, yeah. So,
Why is it still not working? It's still not working.
You know, let me just check.
I know why.
Split left. Why is it? Create table, spell wrong?
No, it's
You have to.
Why am I blind?
Right.
Oh, I had it right then.
Create table, users,
Isn't it?
ID, serial key, colon.
No, I'm not using brackets. I'm using parentheses.
Yeah,
That's the problem. Using brackets. Curly braces.
yeah,
What?
using curly
Yeah,
braces.
just
Yeah.
use parentheses.
Yeah, that's what I used. I changed it to that. So,
Hold on, there's something wrong with your username. Definitely something wrong with username.
you know what? I'm gonna be different. I'm gonna call my username.
Something definitely wrong with your username. Doesn't like it. There you go.
Hey,
Oh, the comma. You don't need a comma at the end. Oh, is that why? Can you put the user underscore name now? I think it will work now.
Yeah, put user underscore name. It would work as a comment.
Anyway, it's gonna be different.
Go back to the
you're right,
models. The models, just the last of the models I need to write.
I learned how to MySQL.
No, by the way, this is all here.
Is it already there?
I just copied it from here and from here. And
Okay,
change
so
it.
just change it. Ah, cool. No worries. I'll do that then. Struct user. So do you just call it user? It's just a user for the struct, isn't it? Because it's just creating a new user, not users.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. The ID is 132.
That's basically gonna be the data structure to hold a user.
Okay.
So if it was users, we would have an array of user.
Yeah.
It's the type.
Yeah. The first name is a string and last name is a string as well. Last name. Which one? Yeah, last name is a string. And then we have first name. Username. Username is a string as well. And what are we saying that we're doing for dates? Date.
So you need to use this date type.
Yeah, which I've got
Import it.
stuff.
And
And then I'll
it
just
seems to
put-
be the date type for diesel
And then
or
I'll just
MySQL, and then just use a date there. So you have an ID, it's a number, first name, last name, and date of birth.
And that's just date.
Right. So once you guys have done that,
Done
then
it.
you can create a lib.rs file.
Yeah.
Your library, and if you go to the web, you can copy paste this code here, and paste it in your library, and then change. You want to change this.
I heard bits where you're using establish connection.
Yeah, just paste that in there. So in the library file, it's gonna be your this is the main file for this library, which is called user registration.
It's that file that you have, because mine is saying that bit is saying these are demo. Which,
Nowhere. No, lab. You need to copy lib.rs at the top. Yeah, that one.
cool. And I need to change that to MySQL connection.
Yeah. MySQL connection. Cool. And the same for this here. The return on the function, the return on connection.
Yeah.
Same for here as well. That's it.
MySQL connection. Cool. Save that.
Then
Hold on. I have that in my main Rust. Why do I have that the same almost. So
Or
do I
maybe-
need to change this then?
Oh, in the main?
Yeah.
No, we're gonna delete all that. Don't worry about that.
Okay.
So then on the library again,
Yeah.
you want to add these 2 lines.
Okay.
So you're making the schema and modules public.
It's like available to that specific.
So if we go to main now, all we have to do here in main, we'll delete all this. We'll leave the main function only, and then we will import our library, which is user registration. It's basically whatever is in the lib file. Import that here, and then we'll just simply call the registration establish connection like that. And establish the direct connection.
If I can spell establish.
Registration.
Actually, 1 second. If you go to your cargo tamil file, this needs to be an underscore because Rust doesn't allow dashes in the module name. So that needs to be an underscore, and then on your main, this needs to be an underscore as well. If that's true.
Right in cargo. Domain. Yeah, that needs to be right. That's what it said. Cool. Okay.
We get into the fun part now, where actually we save a data in the record. Many lines of code there, right?
Yeah, I'm getting rid of that.
I've established connection.
Oh, you have?
Yeah.
Hello there.
So now I'm just gonna
Cool.
fucking map it. Leave the dash.
Yeah, I think it's the semicolon. That's the. Yeah.
I always forget these. Does it return anything?
Yeah, there.
What's the other mod? Schema, and what's the other one that is in the main in the library again?
See, I didn't have to rename mine. I already put it in the script. I used to
Alright.
the syntax.
What's in your
Right. So you're at the.
library one that you created?
Oh,
You're not creating
Oh, I didn't
library
create it, but it's
okay,
fine.
like because
But it's fine. You just do it in main. It's
one. It's
fine.
just models.
We're just gonna keep it
Is
Yeah,
it model
library.
or models?
oh, this
models.
Okay, I only make models.
Wait, just
Oh, it doesn't really matter as long as that's the way you reference it
Okay,
in your other files.
I'll just make sure.
I don't get the
Okay, so Dwayne, if you want, if you go to the terminal and run cargo run, it will try to compile it and tell you any problems that you might have. So that's compiling things for you now.
Yeah.
Any questions before we move on about anything that we've done?
So from just trying to see if I can just go through this. So what we're doing basically, we're setting up the database where we're going to be able to input data, and then we've gone ahead and then we've set up where the data is going to be inputted. Is that what the main is actually doing at the minute?
Yeah. So
And we basically put the string, well, the types data types that can be inputted based on that as well.
Yeah. So the main file is what runs when you run cargo run,
Oh, I got it.
right? So you got an error.
Yeah, so preload.
That's a warning. It's fine.
I don't find it on the side.
Okay, did you mean MySQL connection?
So if you go to your, it might be your main lib, SOV lib, you'd have change that to MySQL.
That one
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
PG stands for WordPress.
Yeah.
No, WordPress, sorry, Postgres.
I was gonna say.
So
This will.
So that needs to be MySQL.
MySQL is in the MySQL module. It's called MySQL connection.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. For example, if you had a
No,
what's that one called?
so it doesn't like preload. Does preload need to be changed as well? Or is that just one?
That's in. Where are you using that?
You can keep it, but it's the same used.
It says couldn't find MySQL in these.
So if you go to
Oh, if you go to your cargo
Take
Tomo
Cargo.
file, you have to. If you look at the screen, you have to put here the features.
change that to MySQL.
Yeah.
So that the info sheet. So
Yeah.
that you get to recompile again.
Yeah.
But the reason why it does that is you're effectively compiling to Diesel
Yeah.
with MySQL or
Rather Postgres.
Yeah.
Wait. Postgres. Is it Postgres?
Postgres.
So obviously, if you didn't use a certain database, it makes your code Muslim because it's not compiling with.
The actual file that you wanted to compile with.
Yeah, it's nice, those flags.
Picture flags. I like them. Start to use them more.
So every correct me if I'm wrong, but every Rust project that has a lib.rs file, it becomes a library, right? So your project is called user registration.
Yeah.
So when you run cargo run, by default it's gonna run the main file.
Yeah.
And what we're doing here is we're importing our own library because this is a library.
Yeah.
Think of the main file, think about it as a different thing. So that's why we import our library and call our method.
Okay, cool.
Right, so we have our main file and then our library file. And then every other file here is called a module. So we need to make our library export those modules, making them public. That's what it's doing here. It's declaring them and making them public. So then we can do things like from main, because they are declared public here.
Yeah.
From main, we can say, for example, user registration, and then the name of the models. You see how it lets me?
Yeah.
And then we can access things in there.
All right.
Because user registration
Right.
is the library file,
Yeah.
and it's exposing those.
All of that in it.
It's exposing
It's
those.
quite cool. Very similar.
And the library itself is exporting other libraries from third-party libraries.
The really best part is when you get into querying data.
Creating. Okay, so is everyone up to date actually?
Yeah, someone else wrong.
You
So
run as
it
well?
says on-
So I'll go on then.
Yeah.
All right. So shall we try to save a user?
So to do that,
So let's go in here because this is. Let's try to find one of these. So this is showing the post. So this is actually loading post, but we don't want loading. We want saving. So let's see.
Did you get this work? Did you get this morning as well?
Wednesday. Oh yeah. This is when it's not used. So it's saying you include some of the you don't want to use.
Right post. Okay, there we go. Right. Yeah, so it's pretty much what we need. But
So we can split it out.
for now, let's just create one. Shall we just create one?
Hard coded, yeah.
Shall we do that?
Yes. So if you go to, is that how you call it in here?
Oh, so it's creating it has a function actually to create a post.
Oh yeah, inside the lib.
So let's do that. Let's do that as
Or
well.
if they put it in the lib.
Source library. Yeah. So let's create a function ourselves.
Also, yeah, it's using create post.
Insert into. Yeah, this is interesting. So let's do this.
We can keep it simple, and instead of just using a function, we can copy the
So I'll keep it simple then.
It's up to you.
Yeah, keep it simple.
Well, creating a function is better, I think.
Yeah, all right, cool.
Let's do that. Let's.
Yeah. Rotate into strings.
Yeah, so let's go to the lib file, and we just create a public function called create user, and we are going to take. I think we need to take the connection. Yeah, we need to take a connection.
A reference.
A reference to a connection is yeah, immutable reference to a MySQL connection.
Yeah.
It just means we can't mutate that.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna pass. In our case, we're gonna pass the first name, which is gonna be a string. So I'll make it a string. Alright. Yeah, let's make it a string. Last name. It's gonna be a string. Or we could actually pass it the whole, or pass it the whole struct. Yeah, there's a lot of fields.
I was tempting. Yeah,
So if we do models,
we can pass the. We can move the value into the scope.
yeah, so let's do that. Let's use models. Let's move it. Our module is called user. So let's import that type. So it's there for us in this scope. And then we can use it here. We can say we accept a user, which is a type user. Right?
Users.
Oh, this is interesting. It actually has two structs. One is new post, and the other one is a post.
Yeah, because it's in the case of like when you retrieve something, you want the ID of the item.
Yeah.
But when you create something, you want the database to handle the ID.
Okay.
Unless you're handling ID in your application.
So that one is actually exactly. It can be any struct, actually.
Yeah, it can be any struct. So
And it just gets the fields. It seems gets the values.
yeah, we can do like pub struct,
So let's. So going back a little bit, let's go back to our models,
new user.
and we will create a struct new user, and it will have the same fields except for an ID. It doesn't have an ID.
Yeah.
Just check how they've done it here. In the models. Oh, so it seems to need this the table name and this
Insertable.
and insertable. Interesting. Yeah, I can do the same thing. I don't actually know why that's the case. Users. I'm guessing it just figures out the name that needs to use from the table. You just look for fields that exist on that table, I imagine. Right. One struct.
User.
Derive. Insertable. Insertable.
Right, so R in the library. So let's get a new user here.
You can't find PP.
We're gonna return a user. So we want to import both a user
And that's why you need the table name.
and a new user.
Is it lowercase table?
Let's see.
Yeah, so let's see what they're doing here.
Yes, underscore. Yeah.
We use the schema users. Right? Users, yeah. How you do it? We already have a user. And then we call diesel insert into users table. Also, you get the schema, and that gives you access to the table. Pretty good. So we're gonna get the values from our user and the result, yeah, and the connection. Let's just do this for clarity. So we're returning that. So everyone okay with that?
Got lost.
I was just being stupid.
So this is the function?
Yeah.
We take in the MySQL connection and a new user object. Did you create a new user object?
Yeah, so you create
The struct?
Yeah.
In your modules, yeah.
Okay, so you create
Without the ID with these things.
Yeah, so we're not doing.
So in your library, you first need to import that here.
Mm-hmm. So not that. User dot ID. Same things. We're calling it users. Okay. And then in our main library, there's new user. Okay.
Go back to your models. What type are we using? SQL. Yeah, SQL types doesn't work for me. Expression is not satisfied. I'm gonna try the other one.
Oh, are you trying already to
Oh, no,
save it?
just, it has my hints. Oh, it says to use it. Use SQL types instead. Interesting.
This is function create user cannot have.
We'll try anyway. We'll see. When we get to minus me.
Fair enough.
Just go back to your library now. Well, we're gonna just finish the last bit of it. So you are on
So we,
user.
yeah, this is, we could have put this up here, but it's just here at the moment.
So new user.
New user. So we said diesel, the name of the library, the third party library.
Yeah.
So diesel packets is a function insert into, and then we call users table.
Okay.
Alright, so we're gonna insert into that table. The values, we say get the values from the new user that we're passing you. A reference to new user. And then we just call get result and passing in the connection it should use. And expect, you remember from the other day, expect just says if there is an error, just show this message. And the whole thing returns a user or should return a user. I'm not actually sure. Yeah, it should return a user. And then we just return it. Yeah, this is just the same as saying return user. But in Rust, every statement that doesn't have a semicolon is a return statement.
That's our own statement.
Yeah, that's just a return. It's just returning the user that we're getting back.
Mhm.
And we type in that's a user that we're returning.
So you're basically telling it literally what every step is that you need it to do.
Yeah. So we get a new user object and we're passing it in. Use these values, create an actual user in the database, and then return as a user type.
So you know, like the dot values bit, is that just like the dot? Is that just a reference to something, or
This here?
yeah?
Yeah, we're just saying it doesn't have ownership to new user.
Okay.
So it means that, for example, if we wanted to check here new user,
Yeah.
we are guaranteed that it hasn't been mutated. We still have the data that we passed in.
Yeah.
First name, last name.
It's still the same.
We're not given it access to mutate this data. That's why we pass a reference. Sometimes in Rust, if you don't need to pass, if they don't need to get, if they don't need to mutate something, they will ask you to pass a reference. In this case, values ask you to pass a reference.
Okay.
We are doing here the same. We are saying if someone calls our create user function,
yeah,
we accept a reference to the connection because we are not interested in mutating the connection. So we don't want to be allowed to mutate it. So therefore, we ask for a reference, and we will use it in a moment. When we call this function, we will have to pass a reference like this.
Okay. Got that. That's why I was like, that's the only thing I was like looking at it. Okay. So basically, you literally want it to stay the same. You don't want it to change.
So if we, yeah, that's a bit tricky. That's a bit.
Okay, cool. Right, that bit.
Right. So now we have our library with two methods: establish a connection,
Mhm.
which give us a connection back.
Yeah.
And then we have a create user where we pass the connection to it.
Yeah.
And a user data,
yeah,
and it should give us a user back, and it should create a user in the database. So now from our main function,
yeah,
let's use here. Let's bring into scope user registration, models, new user, because we want to create an object of this, a new user object.
Models new user. Cool.
And then we just create a variable called let for creating a variable, new user equals. And now we're gonna create our new user, which has a first name. In my case, it's gonna be called Diego.
Yeah.
And then we call to string. Strings in Rust are a bit weird, but just know that you have to do that to actually generate a string from that. Last name. User. And this is gonna be tricky. Date of birth. Oh, it doesn't have one. Hold a minute. Yeah, it has one.
It says the date.
DOB, right?
Yeah, but it says date. So is it date that you would put it to? The DOB to date.
So let's try to figure that out. I don't know.
Oh, you just put an actual value, don't you?
Sorry.
You just put an actual value in.
Yeah, so I'm gonna try to figure out what's the value for that data type. So we know this is the data type. It's a date. So let's go in here and let's see this thing. So implements to SQL, yeah. So it seems to be a naive date. It seems to come from this kernel library. So if I go in here.
Yeah, you can use that one, but you can also use, if I go to back out this crap.
Oh, so you can actually create it from this. So from, yeah, so that's how we do that. So let's use, oh, actually, hang on a minute.
I used to go here, I guess expressions.
Let's just hold on a minute.
I need just 5.
Will this work if I try to call this method on it?
0, 7, 90.
I don't know if this will work.
You have to write it in like that.
What?
Or is that what you write it in then? Your month date.
I'm not actually sure this is gonna work, so let's hang on. So yeah, you can write if you want, but we're not sure if it's gonna work yet.
All right, fair enough.
And then we'll do so user registration. So user registration, create user, and we pass in the.
You might have to use printer.
Already? Does not work for you?
because
So that's the connection. So we just need to save the connection that we didn't do before. When we call establish connection, we actually need to get the connection object into a variable because we need to pass it in here.
Okay.
As a reference,
Yeah.
because we declare it as a reference in the signature. And then we pass in the new user. So that should be okay. And that should give us a user back, which we can then just print to the command line. Have a look at it. Oh yeah. I have to do that. Yeah, let's wait for Dwayne.
Yeah, I'm just right next to you. So.
Right. Let me know when you finish reading this one.
And that's you. So. There you go. Okay. Good with that.
So as Jamal has pointed out, if we want to print the user using this debug
Yeah.
mode, whatever we're printing, in this case is a user, we need to what that structure this is needs to derive debug. Implement debug. Yes.
Okay. But what drive does is it implements straight for you automatically. So you don't need to worry about the details.
So usually you will do implement debug for user, and then you will actually declare the method debug yourself. But it knows how to do that.
Okay. So
If you just put debug, so you're just saving you all that typing.
Basically, why it's called derive.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out
where it comes from.
Yeah.
So we don't know yet what this date of birth thing is going to be.
Well, did
So
you write this?
I put it to a string because I know.
All right.
I know that way it's gonna work.
Okay, so let's try to run this. Right, the program is done. It's gonna create the user and then create it in the database and print it. Let's see if that
I don't
works.
think it's gonna work.
Cargo run. Yes.
What is users?
Use of undeclared type of module.
It's just called
User.
users.
User needs to be
And where is that?
Check your
Models element.
line 11.
yeah. So it's
Table name users.
you might need to import it. Because what that does is actually try to search for your schema.
Do I need to import the schema here? Let's
So
have a look.
let's have a look.
What we can find out quickly. Have a look at how they're doing it here. Yeah, they are indeed. Use schema post.
Yeah.
So you actually need to use
Because what it
schema
tries to do
users.
is it finds the one that's been generated. And if
Yeah.
he types it match up, it won't compile.
Okay. So you have to be in the same scope, isn't it?
Yeah. So that it can actually do its checking.
Didn't know that. So after having done that, try to run it again. And we get a different error.
Yeah.
The day one.
So that date type doesn't seem to work.
What this is I wonder if we can implement it ourselves.
So
So if we could choose go type.
surely we can use a Chrono one, right? I remember you doing that for my project.
You can use if you want to. We can do the chrono. It just means you'd have to recompile. So if we go to
Yeah.
Tom, and
So I would use the Chrono. This one, naive date, right? That's the one they reference. So let's go to, if I go to docs.rs, and this is, you can search for library. So in this case, well, actually, let's go to Rust cargo. Let's look for that package Chrono to work with dates. Just click on it, and just copy that,
Oh, if you need it.
and we can go to our
You say you don't really.
cargo. Oh,
Oh, I might do criminal over here.
I think it's worth adding. Let's try to do it. So add it in here. You can add another dependency. Chrono.
This is what I'm saying. It depends if you start to add up.
Yeah. So if you add that in there,
Then if we go to our chrono, not our chrono, mine's in my main, but
you have
team.
everything in your main.
You put everything in your main.
Your main is huge.
That's just me. You guys can use chrono.
All right, so you've added that. So then go. So then we need to
So I'm gonna instant
use this chrono naive daytime. So we're gonna use that in our model. We're gonna use that type.
You need it. If you
Now
need
that
it.
we have access to that library, and we're gonna say the date of birth is actually a naive date. Like that.
Nice day.
And we have to use this as well.
So I gotta use that. Okay, so that's going to be cool. Use.
That's all. If that's done,
You can just do it.
then
Need it.
let me just open this.
Date.
Let me split this on the right.
Okay, I have to use that as well. I'm gonna publish. Rather than date, we use it. Okay, date. Cool. And then in my
But I'm spelling it wrong.
So in your main,
I'm just gonna put that to. And you gotta change that to from date. You have to put a data type as well.
yeah. So here on the main
Yeah.
as well, we need to change the data type, and then do it here as well. From this. And I just basically, so in my documentation, when you see the type, it shows you the method, so you can see clearly.
Oh, so that's why I use it there.
That's why I'm
From-
using that
from-
method. Yeah, from it has others, if you want
Okay.
different ones. Seems to be a very complete library, very useful.
So data birth, main date from. Cool.
All right.
I hope
so,
this works, Diego, because the
Yeah.
battery is dying.
yeah, man, I can give you your charger if it doesn't work.
From.
So yeah, cargo run again is gonna recompile and fetch that chrono library.
Mine's dead.
Where's this from bit post from?
Oh wow.
Insertable. Doesn't like it. Doesn't like naive data either.
Yeah? No, it's because we didn't
What new?
import.
What new? Didn't even import it.
Yeah, man, that's a very much a mistake.
In the library.
In your library file, you need to say, hey, we're using chrono actually.
Okay.
We're not just referencing it, we're actually importing it, like proper Rust developers, like proper Rust
Oh,
stations.
mine.
Is it Chrono? Just Chrono?
Yeah, it's just chrono,
My
Okay.
lappy died.
like a Rust
So I'm
station.
gonna help you guys.
Yeah, mine is bad as well. I just need the from bit.
All right, then cargo run and
Do this.
okay, so it doesn't work either. That they. But
Right.
damn it!
You know why?
Why?
I
Why?
want it to fail so that I can say.
Hey, it fell. Yeah, it already fell.
So basically, if you go to, you got the GitHub open, you have the GitHub version of it open. Now if you go to the examples at the start,
Yeah.
and then you go to your cargo, or
Let's go.
maybe it's one, oh yeah, MySQL, and did I not put the cargo? Why not? Oh, okay, we're gonna go to your code. I was looking for the cargo, come on. Or maybe it's in the root.
Oh, for these. Yeah, it's for each one. So, for example, this one will have a cargo.
Yeah, you will see.
Oh, this one. They're actually not using dates.
Oh, they're not using dates on
Examples.
this one.
Unless, let's just have a look inside to all of them. Yeah, they're not using that. I'm sure like a quick Google should tell us, right?
Oh, I can tell you.
Diesel, Go ahead then.
If you go to your what's it called, your atom, horrible editor, and you go to your Kagatomo,
One second.
your Kagatomo, and then you know how you got those features.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So how do you declare, let's just, now that we're here, I think you know this. How do you declare features? Where are they actually declaring the features here? How do you expose features so we can see what features are available? If I want to know what features are available for this
if
package.
you want to know features, look at your Kagatomo, or look in their Kagatomo, if they have one. So they have one.
So it's a bit easier, right? Oh, this is right.
Oh, I don't know if you're using.
Yeah, so it has a members. Yeah, it seems to have different.
Okay, so it has one for each. Yeah,
Let's go
so,
to diesel.
so you want to go to diesel.
And then the cargo.
Look at all the
Features, okay.
features.
Oh, cool.
So these are all your features. So at the moment, it would support, Postgres,
Extras, Chrono.
and then
Extras, where's
Yeah.
that?
So if you second one,
so
features.
this is the other thing it supports. So
Extras is Chrono.
Yeah,
So do I need to say extras
that's
basically?
what I'm saying. Do I need to put extras? This Chrono.
Do I need to put extras, right?
Oh, you do need to put extras.
Yeah,
And you get all of them, but you get all of them.
My
Oh.
If my laptop did die,
So it's extras Chronos then, not in the MySQL. Then it's completely
You know what?
separate.
it would be in.
No, it's separate. They've done it separate.
So we know it's a feature, right?
Yeah, but they've done it separate though.
So it would be extras.
You think so?
Or they might have done it separate. I don't know because my
The
laptop
way they
died.
did it, they've done like so features by itself.
Or just Google it.
They do features by itself, and then
Okay.
Let's try to do Chrono here and see what happens basically.
Okay.
They just try everything. So try Chrono. Let's see if that works.
Sorry, but people, my laptop died. I legit have it on mine.
good. I have a plug right there. You've got the same laptop as me.
Rust,
Diego for the plug.
Diesel, use Chrono.
Actually, Diego for the plug. It's on this side.
Let me have battery. Big battery. It's not the same, is it? Oh, is it? It's one
It's
of.
the same.
Oh, it's,
Sort.
It didn't go in. Yes. It's not the same.
Is it not? Oh,
I
Yeah.
understand.
hey, you
I'm-
have an
I'm
old
on
laptop.
Yeah, I'm not old. This is for my laptop.
No, it looks like it's supposed to be a new one.
So did you enable features? Yeah. So use
Yeah, it's,
features.
it's Chrono then.
You use
Yeah.
Chrono is enough.
Yeah.
And I was very amateur.
But you just did that.
Oh yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I basically knew. I was just testing if you guys.
Well, you just did it.
Yeah.
Basically knew all along.
Why are you
Yeah.
getting error then?
Basically checking if you guys know what you're doing.
Why are you getting
Oh,
error?
so this is what I was saying about the
So
error
now I get a
messages.
different error.
The error messages.
So get result is not implemented for MySQL that
So that-
supports returning across.
So it might be worth looking at the MySQL ones and see how they insert. Because there might be specific functions for
All right. Okay.
the backend type.
So let's do that. Let's go. And usually
You're gonna
Rust
die.
projects are quite good because they have an example for us.
You want to swap places?
Yeah, 'cause I'm gonna die.
We can
I
swap
literally
places.
want to get this thing.
Source, models,
I can actually,
actually the library. It's in it. Oh, it's just execute, man. You're right. Just execute. Where is
yes,
that?
because I'm assuming MySQL doesn't just execute it.
Yeah.
It doesn't like.
Well, it's okay. So
So instead of the other one we're using,
we're
can you
going to
execute
values.
here?
So it's that.
it's interesting what it's doing here. Well, it's inserting it, and then it's calling post. You know how you can get schema post,
Yeah.
post, and you can use order by ID. Get me the first. How cool is that? Like, how
Yeah,
easy
and
is
it,
that?
and it checks for your tags. So they generate tags.
Oh, so actually in MySQL you have to get it later. That's what it's doing. You have to insert it and then fetch it. So
Yes,
we're
this
gonna
is
have to do that anyway.
Okay. So do I?
So let's do that. So in our library,
Yeah.
we basically have to call execute,
Yeah. For the Chrome.
Actually, if you go back to that example,
and that doesn't return a user. Doesn't return anything.
if you go back to that example,
Yeah.
it's not actually. If you look, it's not actually getting the post back.
Yeah, it is.
Get the post.
It's getting the first
Oh, so
post.
it is.
Yeah.
There's the order and then first. Oh, I didn't see the first bit. I just see the order.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
what we need to do basically here.
Yeah.
We're
We're using schema user.
Use the schema user
Yeah.
and then dot. I think that stands for domain language. Actually, I don't know what that stands
Yeah.
for. Domain language, right?
Yes, sir.
Domain specific
Yeah.
language. And in this case, we want the ID. We want to work with the ID and the users.
Okay.
It's pretty cool. Like that gives you so many methods. The only issue that I have with this library when I was working with it is like, how do you know what methods you have there?
Yeah.
That's something that
Yeah.
it doesn't really. I have to look into that. What kind of a struct that is? What kind of trait it implements? Because it must implement a trait, right? With methods. We just want to call
User.
in those users. That
So
user.
it's gonna be user.
Get me a collection of
User.
users. Order it by ID in descending order,
Yeah.
and then get me the first
User.
user, and then return it. So we're pretty sure that that's gonna work, right? That's basically
I
it.
mean, you really need the order.
Yeah, but in this case, you get the first user, right?
Is it
I'm
first?
guessing
Is
you
it? Is it first? You sure it's first? It's not first user.
No, it's first. Yeah, it's first.
Okay.
It's really confusing. Oh, it's getting
You
the.
basically need to get it to get a collection of order, right? By
It just seems really weird.
Yeah.
Because what it's doing is getting the last user.
it's getting the last user. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
By ordering it by.
Fetching and then inserting and then fetching.
But if you had an actual service.
That is weird.
So my data.
Yeah. And that query execute first.
Yeah.
You insert one, and
Oh.
then someone already inserted and then got a user. You should end up with the wrong user.
Yeah. You have to be really fast though.
Yeah, really, really fast.
Maybe there are ways to. That's a good point actually.
Listen,
Maybe there are points.
can I look at your main.rs again? Just 1 sec.
Yeah.
What you mean? You mean
Yeah.
mistake?
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
So it's from Y. That's what I was trying to get. So it's from Y, and that is not in a column. So cool. Yeah, that's it.
Right. So brace yourselves for success.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Really fast.
So the trait
So now this is
function or associating item not found in schema users table. Okay, so not to worry. Let's see what they're doing here. So here they have a schema with post and then post inside. So let's see what's it doing here. Schema post, yeah.
so you're gonna use your users. So if you go to yours,
Oh, I did use my users, right?
so if you go here, let's have a look. Insert. Insert.
Users,
It's also from login.
the schema users,
Settings.
ID and users.
Yeah. So I think you can get rid of the table.
Inserts into. Are they using it?
Why?
Oh yeah, post. Yeah, you're right. So post. That's only Postgres. So it changes quite a lot.
Yeah,
Doesn't it?
it does change kind of. That's a good point. I would have noticed that because I only used the Postgres one.
Right. Okay, that doesn't work.
Right, that's what it's the same as the trait order. Okay, so then this is to do with your queryable. So if you go to your
Insert into user table, not user table.
yeah, so I'm assuming it's going to say something about expression.
Queryable. It's unsigned. Type text. Type text. Type text.
So this is what I say when the error messages are quite confusing.
Is it text or is it string?
It's not implemented. Or see, what it's saying is there's one type which is missing the implementation, one or multiple types. But this is what I say when the error messages are really clear. You don't know what specific type it's missing the
Is it not
implementation for.
3228? It doesn't like the way you've done the user that order bit. So that's the bit that it's having a problem with. And it's saying it's the first one. It's not sure what this first one is.
I know because the insert works just fine.
So the insert works. So if we go
Which is
to,
using the
if I go to my
user.
database, let's just see if I select everything from users. No, it didn't work. Oh, it didn't
Yeah,
compile. Of
you
course, it didn't work.
run, yeah.
It didn't run. It
Yeah,
didn't
so
compile.
if you get rid of the query and just return it.
But hang on a minute. But what's the issue though?
Yeah, so if you switch over to our librs
32.
and then go to our models,
That's the
.rs,
So something wrong with this queryable, right?
something wrong with the query.
Whatever it is. So some of these types.
Oh, you have it as date.
Oh yeah, you need to switch it over. Now you see this is what
Yeah.
I'm saying. We need to switch the now.
Yeah, so that.
Oh, so that's
Yeah,
the one. This
yeah.
is the was.
Yeah.
Which
Nice,
is why,
nice man.
why I said the error messages aren't clear.
Yeah, it's not clear, man. Definitely.
You said,
Right, but still fucked up.
oh, still.
It make a difference actually.
That was like my last like.
But that was the error.
No. The trade queryable for an unsigned big integer.
Why is the big integer?
Oh, do I actually? Yeah, that's the
Is that I?
Oh.
Does that?
I-32. Let's just check
What's,
one more time with them. What are they doing here?
what's they doing for their ID?
What are they doing?
Yes, they have an ID. I see.
No,
It's
they have the
it's
I.
I-32, but what was their migration? What was their migrations? Oh, I can tell you what's the migrations doing.
Did we copy?
Integer. But mine not an
Oh, because
integer.
it's the one we copied I think was from Postgres.
Yeah.
Which uses the serial, which I'm assuming like underneath.
So my migration
was-
is using
Don't.
serial. Okay, so it needs to be an integer.
Yeah.
Yeah, which means better that table.
Yeah, and now we can run the
Oh,
auto increment and primary key. Do we have that? We have primary key. We need auto increment as well
Well, you could refer.
with
Refer
MySQL.
will drop the table. Run will bring the table after you make your changes there.
Yeah, let's put that auto increment and primary key, and then we can run cargo. DSL migration. We do. Becoming pros at this library already.
Auto increment.
Next one.
Unknown table.
You got you're down.
No. No. That's it. Very good. You alright?
Is it auto increment?
Auto. Look at that. Yeah.
Integer.
How is it?
Integer.
Primary key. That's a good point. Sorry, I didn't copy properly.
No, it's auto increment. Yeah, auto underscore increment.
Already.
That's the issue. Like even I noticed.
I'm gonna have to redo the template.
Yeah, should do it.
What's the redo function again for it?
Diesel migration.
Okay.
And it still doesn't work. It doesn't work.
Yes.
But this now is an integer. It's a text, and date. So yeah. Oh,
They not know.
look at this. This is actually a diesel SQL type date
Yeah, that's right.
in the database. But here is a chrono.
Yeah, because it showed convert correct. Unless you need to put
Yeah, so you know what? I know what I'm gonna do. So let's go one by one. First, the integer one. If I go to, let's go back to diesel here. Yeah. That should implement traits from
Integer database. SQL from the
to SQL integer. So, well, it has to go from a string, right?
yeah. So you were
Or from a string to int? No, from I-32.
to
Is
integer.
that? I'm just guessing. As expressed in the integer. I actually don't know.
Yeah, I think it is from the, so basically when it's going from the string, it needs to go to the integer because it's getting added as an integer, isn't it?
Oh no, because you look at the wrong thing. You need to find the trait. Because it's a trait which you can implement.
Wait, what do you mean?
Not variable. Like for each of these, you have what these are called an expression. And
Oh yeah, where was that actually? Oh no, but that's okay. Earlier it was complaining about exception, it was complaining about that, but now it's not anymore.
Yeah, have a look at
So those types that I put, they all implement expression.
Yeah,
These types.
following implementation.
it is not implemented for those though. That's why
So
it says.
these types cannot be changed to these types, or vice versa.
Mm.
That's the problem. So, I'm guessing if I remove my date field, like just as an example, will that compile? Actually
No.
compile. Oh yeah,
Actually, worth checking your.
Did you know?
yeah. You actually need to specify everything.
Did you?
Oh, I didn't say that.
Not confirmed.
Yeah, it still has date in here. So
Yeah.
In-
So when
in
you go to if you go to where is it? Your rate user.
You're still trying to use it over here, aren't you? Don't you have to go down here?
yeah, but that's a new user. That's this one over here.
Oh, I see.
But yeah,
This one works and the other one doesn't.
No, well, this one is not complaining, but because it only complains when we're trying to
If you go to your
insert it, then it's complaining saying,
your create user.
or actually when we're actually fetching it, it's complaining.
Okay.
When we're-
Because yeah, this fetches the whole user.
Which is the first one. isn't
that's
it?
fetching that's trying to fetch the user, and it says, hey, this first.
Doesn't have those things
This
that you're looking
trade is not
Yeah.
implemented for
Because you're fetching the whole
your
user.
tuple of your
So even
types.
if you comment it out, you're still fetching the whole user. So you know when you do that to that.
So our user is an ID,
Mm.
name, username. Oh, hold on a minute. Oh, I get it now. What it is? I forgot one field in my. I don't have username in here, right?
No, that's it.
See, that's what I'm saying. The error messages are not useful.
I was just fucking testing you guys.
Okay.
Jesus.
And I have it as well.
You have it?
Yeah, because I have it.
That's a work for you then.
I don't know. I need to do that. I still haven't done that because native date from
Oh, you have to put a dot. It's like a function call.
Because you basically.
Is that dot?
Trait, right?
Hang on a minute, man. Hang on a minute. What do you mean not found in the scope? Main.
You didn't extend create Chrome.
Main.
Your research gets its extend credits.
Oh, do you have to stay in the crate everywhere I'm using? Oh yeah, because the library is different, isn't it?
Well,
You can use.
well, you don't need to.
In the library, I don't need them.
You need to extend create where the code gets used.
Ah, yeah, so both places.
Yeah.
It gets used here.
You don't need it here. That's the mistake that I made.
You don't need it here because it's already in the library, which imports the module.
Not specifically that. I just mean that like the prop macro is implemented a trait, and it's more about where the trait gets used.
Oh, so you mean you don't need this? Or what do you mean?
No, I think you do. I just mean I
No, you don't
think
mean-
you don't need to extend create here.
Ah, yeah, yeah.
I don't know the structure of your code, but I'm just saying like, yeah, I don't know. Like the trait is it's where traits get used rather than
Yeah.
I don't know.
So if I'm using a trait here, I need that crate.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, let's
For now, that's my understanding.
let's see that should work. Okay, do you mean naive date fields? Oh, so okay, so yeah, I think I just don't need.
Is there not a method
Oh,
from
yeah.
NYD?
It's
You're trying to do an instance.
oh yeah, you need
Yeah,
to.
so do double
Precision.
colon. Do double colon.
Right.
So they're not. Oh, that's
Yeah, it's like that's like a static
Yeah,
call,
associative method.
associative method. associative function, whatever. Oh, and there we go.
Still get a friggin' error when it comes to the date thing. Why?
We have created a user in the database. That's great.
How am I getting this? Right, there you go, like.
Because you need to. It's comma separated all the fields instead of double. Instead of colon.
Semicolon. So
Yeah,
it's
because it's just different fields.
okay, cool.
Man, we've done this.
I'm gonna see if I've done.
Yes, and it is in the database.
Sweet.
There you go.
Nice one.
So the card.
Takes a while, mate. Fucking Rust takes a while, isn't it?
I've learned so much.
Huh?
I've learned so much.
Next thing is like to fetch them and
This is.
get them from the command line, but I think we should leave it for now.
I think I need to go home, dude.
That's good, man.
I need
That's
to go
good.
home.
Yeah, I think so. And I can sniff out bits where you're waiting for command.
Got something now.
What do you think? Like,
We'll see. Just stop the recording.
I just
see,
need my thing to
do
just
it.
do it, Diego.
how
Once
many
it's done, it.
Ah, you did? Oh yeah, yeah.